Hi everyone. So yeah, we will start it actually our training class. So basically, yeah. So why we need to learn Java, and so what is the major features in Java, and like what are the applications are running currently in Java? Those kind of topics we will discuss. So before to learn Java, so basically in initial stage, as we know that there are three types of kind of language we can decide it, like low level language, middle level, and high level language, right? So now, like in the so low level means like ALP, so algorithms. This kind of language used to call low level languages. So middle level is like Pascal and B, this kind of language used to call middle level. So after that, they have introduced the many of kind of applications, .NET, Java, and C. This all are comes under like high level languages actually. So now is Java is also considered as a high level language. So basically, you can call it like object oriented programming language Java. Okay. So if you install your operating in your hardware like software in your systems, automatically along with your operating system, it will come Java virtual machine JVM. Okay, so means we can say it thousands of applications are running in the world in Java. Okay, so basically, if you before to jump into the course content, so why we need to learn what are the applications are running in Java. So that for topic I do explain you briefly. Okay. So basically, there are four types of Java applications you can categorize. One is standalone application, web application, enterprise application, and mobile application. Okay. So so some billions of applications are running in the Java. So that is first one is we can say as a standalone. What kind of applications called standalone? So basically, so we can run antivirus or media player and Acrobat. These all are comes under standalone applications. Okay. So in the Java, by using Java, JWT, Sphinx. So by using this kind of core technologies, we can develop this standalone application. Okay. So standalone application we can develop only with core Java. Okay. So that is standalone application. So like a media player and antivirus, this kind of initial exe files, you can run it with standalone application. So then coming to web application, okay, web-based applications used to call. So we know that in the lakhs of web applications are running in the online now. Okay, like IRCTC, we can say as one example, or like anyone insurance or Facebook kind of, this kind of all are comes under web-based applications. Okay, so these web-based applications we can develop using JSP, servlets, struts, so Spring, this kind of technologies. By using this kind of technologies, we can develop the web-based applications. Okay, that is called web application. Okay. So standalone application, web application, now enterprise application. Enterprise is like a distributed kind of application, is a business kind of. So basically there are who can say as an example banking kind of application. So most of the banks is like a business kind of distributed applications. Okay, so using by using EJPs, enterprise Java Beans, JSFs, and even Springs also using microservices. This all are comes under enterprise applications. Okay, so now the fourth one is mobile application. Okay, so mobile application basically is, we know that thousands of lakhs of applications are running in as apps, like using Android. Okay, Android kind of applications used to call mobile application. So Java, so based on Java API, you can develop the Android applications also. Okay. So likewise, there are four types of applications you can say as example: standalone, web application, enterprise, and mobile application. So this is like we can say as a JWT, Swing is the technologies. Web applications is like JSP, servlets, struts, Spring, JPA, JS, all are comes under web applications. Enterprise EJB, enterprise Java, WinSys comes under enterprise applications, mobile applications is Android. Okay. So basically, we will focus on core. Core means core is just like JWT, Swing, JDBC. Uh, uh, Using we can develop the standalone application. Okay, so web applications is like come we can say as advanced Java topics. Those are like JSP, Servlet, Start, Spring. This all are comes in the web applications. Okay. Okay, so these enterprise applications also like kind of developing the EJBs also comes under advanced topics. Okay, so now come to here like course content. What are the course we will learn in the as part of the core Java? So like basic introduction of Java. So when it is started, what are the versions? What is the current version and difference between previous version to current version? So this kind of topics we will discuss on the introduction to Java. Java virtual machine. So basically Java is to run on the JVM base. So JDK, JRE, JVM, what is the Java development kit, Java runtime environment, what is the Java virtual machine, difference between these three, those kind of topics we will discuss. Then first just writing the Java hello world kind of program and how it will execute. So what is the Java compiler, how can we run that kind of discussion, we can do it here. Like in declaring the variables and the data types, Java operators, also we can cover it here. And some conditions like in the programmatically, how can we write the if else conditions, which case condition, for loop condition, while condition that we can discuss as a loop conditions. And OOPS concepts like Java is like we can say object oriented programming language. Okay, so object oriented means basically if you want call anyone declared class, so we should have to create any one of the object. Okay, so okay, one object instance have to create. Based on that we can call the some class methods. Okay, so that is pure object. It is not, Java is not pure object oriented programming, so even it will allow to the Java variables. Okay, Java data types and all will be allowed, like int, float, byte. These all are comes under the Java data types. So those are not object oriented. Means that is not class. So even for int, there are wrapper classes also there. Int and integer. So the yeah, wrapper class is for int is a integer. Okay. So, but basically, since even it is existed data type, so we cannot say as a pure object oriented, but we can say as object oriented programming language. So, like how can we construct, how it will be helpful to create the object in this constructor, what is the default constructor, what is parameterized constructor, these kind of topics we will discuss here. So then static keyword. So we said is Java is pure object-oriented program. So without creating object instance, how can we call the methods by using the static keyword? And what is a static class? How will be what? How can we declare this variables with the static? So this kind of discussion we can discuss on this topic. Okay. So then Java inheritance. So there are a few types of inheritance are there: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Instead of that, they have introduced interfaces. So yeah, we can discuss over here like method overloading, overriding, inheritance. Yeah, so these concepts we can discuss here. Method loading, overloading, overriding. Okay, is a relationship, has a relationship, polymorphism. So all these topics we can discuss here. So interfaces also. Okay, then abstract class interface. These all are like a basic OOPS concepts: inheritance, polymorphism, and abstract. So these all are comes under OOPS concepts. So we can cover it here. So yeah, encapsulation also. So then Java packages. So packages basically, so before to write the one class, on top of that we used to define Java packages. Usually we'll start with com.test, com.our project name or module name. And so this kind of structure we used to define the package because to make it identity of the classes. So basically I need to write it to more than 10 or 15 classes. So within one folder I cannot manage it. To make it separate and easy understanding, we can maintain the packages. So like what is the scope of public, private, protected, what are those access modifiers, how can we access those packages. Yeah, those kind of discuss topics we can discuss here. Then garbage collection, basically it is unused. Suppose we used to write thousands of objects, we create the thousands of object instance. So how, what will happen that? So if you are not, yeah, so basically garbage collection is automatically it will work in Java. So manually, how can we make it eligible as a garbage collector to some object instance once we create it? How it will garbage collection? What is the benefit in Java? So those kind of things we can discuss here. So final keyword, so once we initialize the final keyword, what will happen, that value, if we change it, what will happen, whether we can change or can't change. So this kind of discussion we can do here, we can we can discuss here. So then what is the difference between finally, finalize method, that the topic also can discuss here. So exception handling, try catch block, finally block. How? Suppose we write a number of lines. So suppose in mid of some code, if throw some error, how can we handle that error? So that to implement that kind of logic, we can use Java exception handling hierarchy. Okay. So that how can we handle customized exceptions? How can we, what is the try catch block, and what is try resource exception? Which one is released in newly in JDK 7? So yeah, so that examples we can see it here. So Java collection is the very important in the core Java. So even in Java collection is the, we can say, is very important topic in Java technology. So even in intro point of view, wherever you go, first they is to start asking about the collections. So what is the array list, linked list, hash map, tree map, linked hash map? So has set, tree set, linked hash set, queue, comparable DQ and Q. So yeah, array Q one and all. So these all collections actually internally run as a algorithm based. Okay. Every suppose Java linked list is internally implemented as a double linked list. Okay, algorithm, as we know that. So likewise, every collection is internally is implemented with some standardized algorithms. So that is but we are reusing. Okay, so suppose if you click on that hash map in your documentation, that internal complete details we can learn it. Okay. So Java, yeah, this is the collections topics. So this is a very important topic. So then, so some high like main miscellaneous important topics like what is string, multi-threading, serialization. Okay. So AWT strings we are not using. So it is like some standalone. So very rarely we used to implement even in real time, but the basic things I can try to explain how it would be helpful. So it is self-learning kind of thing, AWT and Spring. So then auto boxing and unboxing, like how can we convert one data type to another data type and how it will be helpful. So we can discuss here. Wrapper classes, we discussed it, right? Int converting with integer. So that is a wrapper class, how it will be helpful. So yeah, that things we can discuss. Yeah, so not generics also we can discuss here, not covered here, not uh, different here. So then Java 8 features. So basically Java is changed with a lot of features, Java 8 onwards. So those like Java Lambda expressions, method references, functional interfaces, stream filter for each, optional class singleton. So yeah, singleton is a generic one, one standard design pattern. So this is not in comes into the Java 8. Okay. So rest all the features this comes under the Java 8. Okay. So all these topics we used to discuss as a in core Java part. Okay. So this is the course content of Java. Okay. So just for your understanding, I will try to one simple Java application. I will explain you. Okay. So just I write down notepad. So coming to write the Java program, you can use any kind of tool like notepad, notepad plus plus, or edit plus, or eclipse, IntelliJ, or any other tools, or like some notepad also we can write it our Java program. So for easy understanding, so just we are started writing in the uh, notepad plus plus. Okay, just I write down here simple program: public class test, public static void main string args, and system.out.println test. Okay, so yeah. So basically, first public. So we discussed it, right? So there are access space. So public is the global. So we can access from anywhere. So this access specifier we can say. Okay. So basically, every class. So which one we are implemented with the class name. So that should be in start with public. So that everywhere we can get access that class name. Okay, so public is the keyword, predefined name. Class is also predefined class. So usually we used to create the class as a public class name. Okay, I can write it here. Public class. Okay, these two are predefined. Test or anything we can put it. It is a user defined name. Okay, as per Java standards, we must have to follow this some code standards. Okay, every class should be start with uppercase, like, and type with test. This is the uppercase. This is the one class name. Okay, or employee data. I need to create table one class name as employee data. Employee and data. It is, instead of that we can start it like this is the way. Okay, one uppercase and lowercase. Okay, so the so some with based on some standards we can create the class name. So we can, it will allow underscore. Okay, numbers is not start, should not start with as initial letter. Okay, so these standards we can discuss later. Okay, so just I'm writing some sample class. Okay, this is the curly brace is the starting of the class and end with here. Okay, this is called class block. This is called class block. Okay, public class name. So start with curly brace, end with curly brace. Okay, so this is a class block we can call. So then I'm writing one more method here: public static void main string args, and start with curly brace, end with curly brace. Okay, basically here this is called method block. I'm to print this some data in the command line. I'm using system dot out dot println hello Java something. I'm putting in the double quote in the string whatever we added here, that data we can display on the console. Okay, now we will discuss about this keyword. So now we are familiar with public class sample. So going forward in further classes also we used to discuss more on this topic. So it is yeah, every class will used to start with public class name. Okay, so public class name. So public static void main. Okay, public again, it is a global access specifier. Static is the keyword. So why we need to use static, I will explain you. So void is means nothing, that won't return anything. Okay, so that's what we are, there is no return type here. So basically if you write any one method, int test method, so here this method should return something as an integer value. Okay, so some integer value has to return. So if you put as a string keyword data type, it should return some string. Okay, so if you put as void, no need to return anything here, no need to return any return method. Okay, no, not required. So for that here we are not returning anything. Okay, I'm not writing any business logic here to return here. So just like I am going to print only hello world kind of program. So that's what I use it as a void. So main is the starting point of the program. So like so like our basically Java program will start from main function. Okay, so that's what I used main. So string is the string array. So this is actually we can pass it some command line arguments from the command line. Okay, suppose if you put is three, we should pass as a three command line arguments from the from command line. Okay, so likewise, so basically we can pass it number of arguments in the command line, so we can read it in the program. Okay, so that we will discuss later about. Okay, so system actually it is used to system.println to print some data in this in the command line. Okay, so like a hello Java, so whatever we put it here, that is to print some data. Okay, so what these are the streams we used to call. So like file input stream, output stream. So during the time we can discuss more on that. So what is the system out dot println and all. Okay. So now I missed out one keyword as static. So main part is static here. So we said it Java is the object-oriented programming. Okay? But object-oriented means what I said it. I want if main is also one kind of method. Okay, so we can use it as a one main method. Okay, but this method, if I want to call it in Java, usually I need to create one object instance. Okay, like how can we create an object instance here? Like I can say it just for understanding. I'm creating. Don't think about it. Sample s sample or any name. S I put it as lowercase and equal to new sample, and I need to tell. So this is the sample class. I have created one object instance inside sample. Yeah, sample is there one method as a main method, and how to call. This is the way we have to call this method usually generic way, but we are not creating any object instance here. Okay, so just here I'm defining only static. Okay, means without creating any object instance directly I can call the method if I use as a static keyword. Okay, so this is the main benefit of the static keyword. So static, what is the help of the static keyword? It without creating any object instance we can call directly with static method. Okay, so now here we are not creating any object instance. Just I created one simple public class name, public static void main string args, and printing the hello Java. Okay, so I'm going to command line. Okay, so this program actually we used to save it as a sample file, save as a sam sample dot Java. Okay, so sample.java we can save it. So every Java file should end with .java. Okay, so now here I saved it in this location. So sample.java is the my class. Okay, so what I'm going to do it here, I am going to compile my sample.java file. Java C is the command to compile the program so that it will convert into the bytecode. So sample.java. So public, wait, wait, okay, okay. So Java C sample.java. Now just it is generated dot class file. It is converted into the bytes. Okay, so this byte file again we have to run it with Java command. Okay, so how it will be converted to the dot Java to byte, that and all we will discuss in further classes. Okay, this is for basic introduction. Okay, so Java sample, if I put it hello Java is printed out. Okay, so basically if I use Java, so you can see it here, this is a complete information we can learn it, what is the Java, how it will be helpful and all. Okay, so just I'm copying, I will show you similar kind of documentation we can generate it now. So basically, before to learn Java, usually we'll follow the Java documentation. So likewise, all like we can see that all APIs. So what is the Java related packages and all. So there basically there are main Java.io, Java.util, yeah. So this kind of packages you can see Java.sql. Yeah, XML. There are many packages or packages are there. All the packages you can see it here. Okay, so this kind of information we can find out over here. Okay, so basically why I'm trying to explain. So likewise we can also generate it for our Java program. Okay, so here Java doc. Sorry, you can see my screen, right? Hello, please how can we minimize this? So basically here, so Java doc I've and slash test and I'm test one and I'm putting sample dot Java. So I'm generating Java documentation here. Here, whatever we write in Java sample code, we can see that information here. I'm going to here. So look here, complete documentation is generated. Here we are going to index HTML. Okay. What is our class? Is a class is public class sample. So every class extends with Java.lang object. So even though we are not in extends, so internally that extends the Java.lang object. But if you look at our program here, we are not extended anything here, but internally it is extended to Java.lang object. So that's what we can say is Java is object oriented programming. Okay. So it is superclass is the Java.lang object. Okay. So then constructor, we are not created any constructor by defaultly no parameter constructor, but so during runtime Java virtual machine will generate JVM will generate one default constructor, that is a sample constructor. So this is the one default constructor is generated. So then coming to method summary, so we are don't have much methods except the main method. So those main method details we can see it here. This is the static void return type. We prefix is the static void. Okay, so that is only one main method you have. So basically in the real time, if you have some number of methods, those methods we can see it over here. So then static method is only one static method. All methods we don't have. So concrete methods also we don't have anything. Concrete method is nothing but some generic method. Okay, normal methods we used to call concrete method. Okay, so method and description, what we put it here, Java dot. So basically Java.lang is the default package. We no need to import anything before to use it. Suppose if you are using any array list as map part of the collection classes, we must have to import it before to use it. But since we are using all Java.lang components, so we no need to mention in we no need to import it. So Java.lang is by default internally it will commit that will be inherited automatically. So sample it will inherit Java.lang object. Okay. So similarly here, string is also part of java.lang. So string arc. So this is the array. So this method inherited from class java.lang object. So once we inherited java.lang object, so by default these are the inherited method clone equals finalize get less get class has code notify all. So these are not required to use discuss here now. So we can so like during discuss about the hash map, we can discuss hash code, and during learning the java.utility package. So notify all, like writing the synchronizers and threads during learning those topics. We can discuss much on this methods. So toString also we can discuss about during running the string class. So wait method, these all are a part of the thread process. Clone equals we will discuss whenever it is required. So yeah, this is the basic program. Okay, this is our simple class. So likewise we can generate it our documentation also. So similarly, Java is prepared to java.util API. So if you create it here, what is the collection? All these packages they have given it. Okay. So I want to learn about anything one list. What is the list? Okay. So that will give it. They also have what interface is list. Yeah, really different collection is the collection interface. Iterable. What is this? What is the purpose? All kind of information we can see it here. Okay. What are the all methods, modified and type method description. This is the internal topic. Internally the yeah so if you use collection internally in the Eclipse or something, if you use it, so internally we can see all these details in class level. Okay. So similarly here, just we have only one simple class, we cannot see much information here. So it is existing Java provided as Oracle provided API, so that we can see it here, the number of classes and methods and all here. Okay. Likewise for every API maintain the own documentation. Okay. This is the basic funda I'm trying to explain you here. Yeah. So this is a simple program we printed out. How do we convert it? Okay. So yeah, yeah. So what we discussed it today, like so we discussed like what are the applications are there, how many Java applications are there, what is the different standalone web application and enterprise mobile application, how it will be, what are the technologies we will use to develop these kind of applications, and what is the what are the what are the topics we will cover in the part of the course to learn the Java. So the topics we have discussed it, simple Java program we have seen, and we generated some documentation with using the Java doc command. Yeah, so that how APIs will be generated, we can see in the documentation level. Similarly, like we can learn it. We can take refer the Oracle documentation also for other packages before to learn any one topic in Java. Yeah. So yeah, so that's it from my side. So do you have any questions? Anyone you can raise up. Hello. Yeah. So
Hello.
anyone? Yeah. Hi, Uday. Yeah.
Nothing about yourself, but I need to know what is the difference between hash code and equals method. Can you explain anything about that?
Yeah. I will explain you surely. Hash code and equals method, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a
So that
frequently asked question for the interviews.
mm,
So I need to know about that, so the topic in depthly. So I'm
yeah, I
intentionally
will
know.
try. So basically here, so a
Yeah,
sample I created, right? So
yeah.
so if you want to create some object instance, sample equal to new sample. Okay. Here every object is generate one unique hash code. Okay. I created one more class instance here. every class it will create one unique code. Okay, so this is called some hash code. Okay, so basically equals method we can discuss much in the hash map. Okay, so why we need to equals method, that simply, so if you're already having knowledge of hash map and hashing concept, that easily you can understand, so or else I can discuss with separately. Okay, so like equals like public boolean equals like a hash code, always it will return some unique integer type public into hash code. So likewise it will return as every object instance one unique to object instance. Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
basically equals method, suppose how can we say it? So now I have some employee records. Okay, so employee
Mhm.
ID should not be repeated, right? It should be unique.
Yeah, that's a unique queue.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
then we have to override the equals method. Okay, so basically
Mhm.
hash map how it, sorry, someone,
Hello.
yeah, hello, yeah, yeah, so
Your voice
basically,
is breaking.
yeah, so basically, yeah, yeah, so yeah, yeah, before to add the elements into the hash map, so usually we added into the some bucket, right? Zeroth and 1 2 3, and when we add some element, that will be stored into the that will be stored in some linked list, right? Okay, so like before to add it, it will verify the it will verify the bucket, it will try to find out some bucket index value. So before that, it will generate some unique hash code and find out the location and store that value. So next time again we will try to add it. It will compare the previous value with the equals method whether it is already have or not. Okay, if not have, then it will add to the new location, or else if we have same location it will get override. So this is how it will work internally as and equals. I do explain, I will explain you clearly when it comes to that topic.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you, thanks everyone, bye.